live. What are you drinking this morning?
An adaptogen-based mushroom coffee from Four Sigmatic. This one I think is called Balance.
Interesting.
Yes.
Mushroom coffee. I've never tried mushroom coffee.
Oh, it's very good. And I can't be honest and tell you what mushrooms are in it because I have four different ones. And so I focus on the name they've been giving it. So I have calm, I have balance, I have inspired, and I have peaceful. And so that's what I'm
Nice.
doing. I'm balancing it all
Wonderful.
out. Yeah. And it's good because it tastes like coffee, but it's not. So you get that psych of, oh, that tastes good. But then you get all the adaptogens that run through your body. And it's just great.
Wonderful. I've always been a tea drinker myself. I love chai. That's my favorite. But
Yeah.
I'm very British, I guess. I just drink all my tea all the time. I
Do you
drink
put anything in
caffeine
your
tea in the
chai?
morning, non-caffeine at night. Hmm?
Do you put anything in your chai?
Just honey.
Oh, that's good.
I
Yeah.
have a little oat milk in there.
Yeah. Maple syrup is always good too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid the whole sugar thing right now.
Yeah. Fair enough. Probably a really
Not
good idea.
easy.
Well, and it's in the strangest things. Like if you buy a store made pasta, there's sugar in the pasta or bread. There's sugar in the bread. Like that makes no sense.
I feel like they're trying to do that on purpose because sugar, I mean, if you we've talked about this with kids a lot because sugar can have the same effect on the brain that as cocaine has, and yet we're giving it to children and they're just acting wired and we wonder why.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a conscious effort what you put in your body these days. Yeah, yeah, for
Good
sure.
morning, everyone. You've got the
Good.
comments on, yeah? So you can see?
I cannot.
You
That
just
would be a good
click in
idea.
the top
Oh,
right corner, then you can see.
perfect. Good
Good morning,
morning.
Adriana. Hi, Anna. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Keisha. Hi, Erica. Hi, Gabby. Hi, Michelle. Lovely to see you guys. Good morning, David. Welcome,
Good.
welcome. Yeah, we're just chatting tea and coffee this morning. Having a relaxed morning. How is everyone? How's everybody feeling with the eclipse energies? Everybody acclimating okay?
That's a great question. Acclimation, isn't that the secret right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Could be.
I was just reading Keisha's comment. Drinking
Yeah.
lemon water with a little honey for the last 3 weeks. Did not plan to quit coffee, but anxiety, and I believe my guides had other plans. Well, they do
Yeah.
say that coffee strips you of nutrients. It's
It's
really,
very
if you drink it a
dehydrating.
lot.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
dehydrating. It's said that if you want to be in a stable physical environment, that you need to drink half of your weight. So half of your weight in pounds. So if you're 100 pounds, you need to be drinking 50 ounces of water. But for every sugar-based or caffeine-based drink that you have, presuming it's around 8 ounces, you need another 8 plus 5 ounces just to clear that from your system. So if you're drinking two
Oh.
coffees a day and let's say a soda or something, you might need 80, 90, maybe even 100 ounces of water in a day. That's a lot of water. It's a lot of water.
No wonder everybody's dehydrated.
Yeah. And
Whenever I
when
do
we're
clearings, I'm like, do you have any wellness tips? And the first thing they always say is drink more water because the guides are like, nobody drinks enough water. Like,
100%. Well, imagine that water is a conductor of electricity. And so if we don't have enough water, our vibration isn't going to create its mass purpose.
I didn't know that. You don't think about that. You think about your water being important for body processes, but for vibration, you don't realize. But then you see with things like cymatics and the effect that sound has on water, and it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And imagine it not having enough water to be your own energy. What do you have to do? You have to take energy from others. And when they're so depleted because they are also not hydrated, you're not sharing the energy, you're literally stealing it. Yeah.
That happens
I
a lot with people these days, especially when you go out in public. You realize how depleted other people are of energy, and then they start sapping some of yours.
Yeah. It's actually a fun experience if you get really grounded. You activate your innate biofield, which is your pineal, your heart, and your biome, and you are literally this ball of ecstatic energy. And you walk around kind of throwing that energy out. Anyone can have it. People are repelled. They don't
Yeah.
want that energy. They're used to such a low vibration of energy. So yeah, it's
I wonder what happens. Like, let's say that you are dehydrated, and that
mhm.
makes you tired, and so you drink an energy drink, like a
Well,
Red Bull or a Monster. What happens
you're
then?
let's look at it from two perspectives, which I hope that everyone is always looking at two perspectives, because we are under this timeline as a natural law of polarity. So there has to be a positive and there has to be a negative. And so look at everything from both physical and spiritual, because without that polarity, we aren't going to find union, right? And so
Yeah,
there's
absolutely.
always two parts to every answer. There's the physical answer and there's the spiritual answer. And so, as your body is absorbing the chemicals and the toxins and the sugar from the Red Bull, the organs are literally shutting down. They can't function. Your cells can't read what that pattern or that communication is or it means. And it's going right to the mind brain, but it's killing the cells in the biome. The biome is the body brain. And so, if the body brain can't communicate to the organs, and the heart is shut off or weakened, which is your soul's brain, and the only thing that's functioning is the mind brain, it's functioning like flashing lights going crazy. There is no message or communication that's going to be able to move through that distraction. And that's the
Yeah.
spiritual side of it. So when we drink those energy drinks, we're literally depleting ourselves from the physical, natural, healthy process of the body, but we're also creating a block to the divine messages that are coming in because they're being distorted from that mind. It starts, it has many bad words, but it's a mind fuck. It literally, truly
Mm.
is. Yeah. And so you're
Makes sense
tired.
as to why they're pushing them so hard now. There's commercials for them everywhere. They try and make it look so cool, and yeah, they don't have the. A lot of people are using them because they feel exhausted in the morning, and they think it's healthier than coffee. I know
Yeah.
several people that do.
Well, and here's the thing. If you're tired, drink water. If you're hungry, drink water. If you're sad, drink water, because it's the most natural healing element. You're not going to go and eat mud. That would be cool too, but you can slather mud all over yourself. The challenge is the quality of our water is questionable now as well. We want a pH balanced live water that is fueling us. And that's challenging.
Yeah, especially these days with the whole system needs upgrading and updating. Yeah, it's kind of a mess. We've been talking about Flint water, for example, for 10 years now at least, and it's unfortunate that some of the most important people, like our children, are getting some of the worst water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was blessed to have been invited to a First Nations ceremony for the eclipse, and was surprised in my research to learn in this day and age. I shouldn't say surprised. It's not that I didn't know, I just couldn't believe it was still this case. Thank you. Thank you. Um, there's 15,000 people on this reservation, and less than 3% of them have healthy running water. They have to bring their water in. Like I couldn't imagine living like that.
No, I couldn't either.
Yeah.
I
And
did
we're
it in
so,
South Africa for a year, and it was awful. Having to bring in your own water. We would have to drive up a mountain every day with every jug we could find and filling up the back of a truck with water, and then having to drive it back down the mountain and then having to refill all the stuff. extremely time consuming. Probably took us about 2 hours every 2-3 days to do it.
Yeah. And imagine though that, um, imagine, and I'm saying afford as in the joy of it. Imagine being able to afford that amount of time to do that task, but do it from a place of joy because you don't have other bullshit tasks that you have to do. Like,
Yeah.
we are the only species on this planet that pays in many forms to live here. And what that steals from us is what the day is meant to be: learning, growing, healing, sharing, loving. And we're missing out on that. And to kind of bring it back to your conversation starter about water, the most valuable thing that you can do to prove your devotion and your love to yourself is before your feet hit the ground in the morning, drink a glass of water. Leave it on your bedside the night before your feet hit the ground. And now a lot of people that I've suggested that to will say, oh, as soon as I wake up, I have to go to the washroom. That's a challenge because it means that your body hasn't absorbed the water. It's worked very hard through the night to get rid of the toxins, and you have to urinate so urgently because those toxins need to come out. If you practice over time hydrating, when you wake up in the morning, there won't be a sense of urgency to go to the washroom because the water would have been absorbed by your organs.
Wow, you never think about it that way. That's
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
Mm-hmm. It takes about 3 days, 3 24-hour cycles to rehydrate the body. So going back to the information I shared a few minutes ago, is we require, in order to hydrate, 50% of our weight in pounds, in ounces. So if we're 100 pounds, we need 50 ounces of water 3 days in a row just to rehydrate. That hasn't removed the toxins. It hasn't resynthesized the organs. It's literally rehydrating us. And then from there, we're able to maintain what the water is gifting to us.
And I like that you're drinking it. Is that copper?
It is copper. Copper is probably one of the most empowering ways in which you can carry and hold your water. It has so many healing properties that both physical and spiritual. Mm-hmm.
It does. It reprograms the water, doesn't it? It changes the frequency of the water itself.
It does, and it holds the intention. So not that this is necessary at all, but I love it. I have a 528 hertz energizer. It's a coated pad. And so when my water sits on it in the copper bottle, the frequency and the vibration dances, marries, intimately connects with the copper, and the copper tells the water the story. Think of copper as the story holder, and it's telling the story to the water, and the water becomes the story that you tell it. And so Dr. Emoto is the most easiest and perfect example. Just go ahead and Google Dr. Emoto and look at the visual difference of I love you and I hate you. They're the absolute polar opposites. But again, one cannot exist without the other. And so
Yes.
just recognizing that, not drinking water, you're telling your sacred vessel that you are not devoted to it. And saying words that are unkind or, well, I guess that's the best way to say it. Unkind, I'm going to say untrue, but many don't understand how that truth gets corrupted. But unkind words to ourselves, our body holds on to that and becomes it.
Yes, it does. And this is one of the reasons why negative self-talk is one of the most detrimental things you can do, guys.
Yeah.
Don't say nasty things about yourself. Don't talk bad to your body, especially. You say something like, oh, I hate my back. It's always hurting. Well, yeah, because you're talking mean to it. And you're literally manifesting that.
You're giving it instruction. I know in the spiritual realm, we like to call it manifesting, but that's the spiritual component of it. The physical component, the material component is instruction. You've just commanded an instruction of what you expect and anticipate. And so the natural laws say that's the direction. We have free will and autonomy. That's the direction in which the energy will flow. And so our words are the physical manifestation of our words is a command.
It is. That's why you have to talk nice and you say things like, I love myself.
Yes.
And all the things that you dislike about yourself, you're supposed to say the opposite.
Yeah.
If you don't like your nose, you're supposed to look at yourself every day and be like, I love my nose. I love my nose. You just keep saying it over and over again until you start to change that attitude.
Yeah. Can I give you a small lesson on that?
Sure.
So what Lara is explaining in metaphysics is called radical self-acceptance. The challenge is that we also know when we're lying. And so radical self-acceptance is a process. And so it has three parts: in the past, in the meantime, and this may not be true, but I am creating it. And so if you're in the position where you look at your nose and it's absolutely horrific to you, your statement isn't, I love my nose. Your statement is, in the past, I haven't loved my nose, but I am now. And then as you're comfortable and capable of saying that, it's, in the meantime, well, I can't lie and say I love it. I'm doing the work to recognize that radical self-acceptance. And then the third piece is, this isn't true yet, but I am creating a reality where I love my nose. And all of a sudden, you have created acceptance. And we want to leave it there. You don't want to obsess over, oh, is today the day that I love my nose? Just let it happen. Allow it to be. This is in the past, in the meantime, and this may not be true yet, but this is what I'm creating. And then that allows what you're thinking, saying, feeling, doing to become the process. And as much as we are spirit energy on human assignment, we chose human. We can't negate the human things like space and time, where in this moment, I don't love my nose, or let's say 5 years ago, I didn't love my nose, but now I love all of me. My nose is part of me. This is perfect.
Yes. Beautifully said. Lisa had a good question. She goes, how does cursing affect us?
Okay, so here's the coolest thing about everything on this planet. Nothing affects us poorly unless we expect or intend. And so if the intention of the curse is an amplification, then that what we're amplifying is going to be amplified. And so if there's judgment, if there's guilt and blame, if there's shame around the curse, and I'm thinking curse words like swearing, if that's not the case, let me know. When we use those words with an intention of the highest good and as an amplification for positive love, respect.
Like when we say, fuck yeah.
Or even, you know what? When we're like, no fucking way. What we're doing is we're putting an energetic boundary around us that says, this is mine. My intention is to protect this energy. And so when we're, when we use that to describe someone, I want to make sure I don't use anyone's name. Blah, blah, blah is a fucking idiot. Well, guess what? We have amplified our own judgment and criticism. And so as that goes out, it's going to come back. And that's the
Yes.
natural law of karma. And so if you're using it in a positive amplification to take your power back, it's powerful and empowering because that's the intention. But if you're using it to shame, to judge, to criticize, to blame, to cause harm, it's going to come back to you.
It's almost like sending out little mini curses at people when you do that. Whenever you think and talk negative about somebody, you're sending out bad juju to those people that actually we can pick up in clearings. It's actually like it's an intention that's being sent to somebody that we can actually pick up on.
Well, let's take it a step further, Lara. I've gone and called blah blah a fucking idiot. And I've put that curse out, but that curse has come from me to them. It's a cord of attachment.
Yes,
If
it is.
I'm
100%.
thinking that let's get dramatic, and I've hexed blah blah, but I've actually attached myself now to the concept of that person's negative energy. And so I am attached to that everything that they do that proves me right, they're an idiot, comes back and affects me.
And you don't even have to see that person. That person can just steal your parking spot every morning. And every morning you go out there in your car spot and you're like, oh, that person is doing it again, you know? And you don't even have to know their name or who they are. And you can still send them bad energy.
That's right. And it's amplified because you're the creator. Hear this. You are the creator. The creator has the most amount of energetic power. And so as the creator, you're keeping that cord of attachment alive. You're keeping that negative energy alive. It's why Ho'onopono is such a vibrant prayer, because not only does it cut cords of attachment, it cleanses and purifies our innate operating system, and it deprograms the corrupt programming. And
Yes.
we have programming. Everything out there is a program. And so if you are not activating your innate biofield, you are not in your biome, which is your body's brain, if you are not thinking for your body, if you're not in your heart, your soul's brain, if your soul doesn't have the ability to communicate with your body and your ego, if you're not in the pineal, ego can't navigate the outside world from truth and cannot be spiritually connected. And, you know, as I guess a routine, activating, cleansing, and purifying your operating system doesn't need to take more than 90 seconds. And as you get good at it, that's what happens. I actually teach a course called Take Your Power Back. For Starr members, it's $37. It's energy medicine. It's a game changer. Over 21 days, I teach you how to activate your body brain, your heart brain, your ego brain, and to manage, own, and embody your bioenergetic field. It's a spiritual cleanse, but there's a hook, there's a commitment. It takes at least 90 seconds a day. Every morning before you get out of bed, you have to clear the program and you have to activate your own biofield. 90 seconds. And I can't tell you how many people feel like 90 seconds is too long to be the master of their own self. We're the most complicated creatures ever. I'm sure of it. I'm so sure.
How many people actually sit in the mirror and even look at themselves for 90 seconds?
Yeah. Well, how many people sit across from one another and look into each other's eyes for 90 seconds? We're a disconnected species.
We are 100%. Interesting. So, how would someone that's never heard of something like this get started? Somebody who's new to this, who's just having their spiritual awakening, where would this fit in?
Can you ask me a more specific question? Because as you know, my repertoire is gigantic and I don't want to go.
That's why I'm starting. That's what this is what I mean. Like, there's so many ways to start when you have one of these. Let's say that you have a dream that you are still trying to figure out, and you are trying to tune in to a message from your higher self or your soul guides or from whoever is trying to connect with you through that dream. How would you use that for that sort of thing?
Okay, so I'm going to give you the perfect scenario, but take the pieces of it that you need. A perfect scenario is you've had a dream, you are attached to a piece of it. It's very clear it's a message. You have no idea what the message means for you. Most people want to go external. They want to go and ask someone else and share their dream. They might want to even grab their oracle cards first. And I'm not saying this isn't an important step. It's not the first step. Or worse, they just let it go. They just are like, well, maybe it will come back to me. The perfect scenario is get outside as quickly as possible. Or if we want to create an artificial environment, get on your grounding mat. Guys, if you don't if you live in acclimatized weather like I do, where summer is maybe 6 months that I can be outside, get a grounding mat. You can get them for as little as $29 on Amazon. And they are obviously not nearly as amazing as being on Mother Earth herself, but it is a visceral and grounding effect. And so again, first thing that you want to do in a perfect world is you want to get out into Mother Nature. You don't have shoes on, and you stand in Mother Nature. And it's breath and imagination. Our breath is our soul's energy. Our imagination is our ego's energy. When we move through the body with breath and imagination in unison, we are whole. We're body, ego, and soul. And that's the space that we need to be in to interpret anything, whether it's an internalized dream, whether it's a physical sensation, whether it's an external experience. We have to be grounded. We chose human being, which means this body is the anchor. It's the vessel, and it needs to be filled with a high frequency positive vibration, which in my teachings is called your power energy. You need to be full of what is your power in order to discern the message. If I'm wearing pop bottle glasses, but I don't have a visual impairity, I'm not going to be able to pick up this piece of paper and read it. I'll have to take the glasses off. And that's what all of the corruption is the layers of the lenses of interpretation. And so we want to get grounded, and we want to activate our operating system. It's almost like we're cleansed and purified, but we're empty. We're empty of all of the bullshit that doesn't matter, so that when we do bring that message into our awareness, it's being filtered or discerned from our truth, not from all of the negative energy on the outside. And so having a process which grounds your physical body to Mother Earth, that opens your heart to be clean and pure, but also connects you to Source, gives you all of the internalized tools. And it's about sitting in that, breathing and imagining. Also, then is the opportunity to go to our external resources. Find a divination, a deck of cards that is your go-to, but don't just treat it like a deck of cards. It's a council. You have a council, but it needs to be respected. They need to be put in a place of honor. They need to be cleansed and purified. They need to be given gratitude. And so after you have cleansed and purified your biofield and you've sat in the question, what does this message mean to me? Then you're capable. of discerning from a clear, pure space. And then the cards, they won't speak to you in generalized messages that you still have to sit in and figure out. They're going to come right in, and they're going to get
slap.
and they're going to give you what you need to hear. The challenge is if you're still in this corrupted operating system, we're going to hear what we want to hear. And there is a very big difference between what we want and what we need. What we want has been programmed by the outside world. What we need is here at heart. But heart cannot be heard. Soul cannot be heard if you can't hear your body. If your mind is navigating the outside world on behalf of other corrupt forces. Clean pineal, clean heart chakra, clean biome. That's the solution. And that's what I'm here to teach. Everything that I do as a spiritual Zenagogue is this 3-part. Imagine, this is what I imagine. If I was truly doing my purpose, the moment that every child was born, I would whisper the secret in their ear. And the secret has 3 parts. First, you are a sovereign being with your own operating system. Protect it. Protect it. Protect it. Second, you have a human being user manual in your cells. Listen to it, hear it, follow it. And third, Earth is a school. There are only 12 lessons we're here to learn. Nothing else fucking matters. Nothing else matters. And so with that whisper, I then would hold the space where I teach people to take their power back by activating their innate biofield. I read to them their human being user manual and I teach them how to use it. And then I hold space for Earth School. Every month we sit in each of those, every month we sit in one of each of those 12 Earth lessons and we master this planet. That's what we're here for. Mm-hmm. And so for me, that's called Take Your Power Back, Soul Reveal Reading with the Human Being User Manual, and Earth School. And so every morning, I sit and whisper to the entire planet that story I just told you I would whisper to children. Every morning, that's part of my routine. I send it to everyone willing to listen. Last night in Starr, formerly the Divinate community, I did a 40-minute lesson on the 12 Earth School lessons, the 3 pillars, self, others, and life, and what each of the lessons are. So if you want to pop back over to my page there, yes, I think it's already there. I'll have to check in. I'm not sure if
Daniela would know. There you go.
For us, or if Jay has.
Thank you very much, Julia.
Thank you, Daniela. That's good. Yeah, and so it was really simple. My challenge is I get really passionate. I start talking fast and loud, and my hands start moving. So you might want to either play it at a slower play or play it at a faster play to just get through to the message. But I taught those 12 lessons last night, so I won't go into too much detail here, but I will share what they are. There are 5 lessons in self. Self is 100% you. No one else can do this work for you. Your physical well-being, your emotional competence, your mental capacity, your spiritual connection, and your character. Who do you want to be? Not who you have to be to survive. Who do you want to be? The second pillar is our influential others, our intimate love relationship connection and what that means for our own source energy, our parent-child connections, which is our generational trauma, healing our generational trauma, and our social infrastructure. Who you love is not who influences you. Who you spend your time with is your influence. So if you're on television or in nasty social media, that's who you're getting fed by and with. And then there's life, our career, which is not what we do for a living. It is been corrupted. Our career is who we show up as. So if I want to be of enormous benefit, I have to know who I want to be and show up as her. This is your career energy. Then it's finances, quality of life, and vision for the future. What's really unique about the life pillar is that we're the only species that has to pay to live here. And so our quality of life, our vision for our future, and our career energy, which is supposed to be our essence, has been hijacked by what job we have and how much money we make.
Well, that was all by design, though. We all know that. They're just trying to make it into a dog-eat-dog world, as they say.
Yeah. And here's the funny thing. Dogs don't eat dogs.
No, they don't. Nope.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you for explaining that. It's very helpful. And somebody just asked a question. I'm just going to go back. Where was it? Oh, Lisa had a good question about the chakras and how we can cleanse those.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to give you guys a small, cool lesson that if you've had your soul reveal reading with me, you're already going to know this. But this is the coolest shit ever. Our chakras are not a what. 30,000 years ago, when chakras were our sacred guides, we had intimate connection with them. And as the chakra intimacy left the East and it became a Western visual place to be, I want you to know that a lot of what we need to know has become occult knowledge. We don't know enough about our chakras. I would love for you to imagine that they're not a what, they're a who. Our 7 main chakras have incarnated with every version of our soul, every timeline, every dimension, every lifetime. They have very specific roles. They speak our first language. They literally use our body to interpret what soul is saying, what soul needs. The way that soul communicates to ego when we're not in alignment. When we're in alignment, it's a direct communication, pineal, heart, biome, biome, heart, pineal. But when we're not in direct alignment, it's our chakras that are communicating soul's message to the body and the ego. And every single one of us has 2 unique sacred guides whose purpose is to protect us. The first is ourself, and that's not their name. It's their job title. Their name is only known to you as a soul, and it should not be shared. And it's not as much a name like we would know it as a sound. It's a knowing. If you're in a dark room and someone you love came in and you heard them, you'd know who it was. You didn't need to see them. This is these sacred guides. The first is self. Its purpose is to keep us in our highest alignment, and it's going to activate as an annoyance, itchy, scratchy, throbby, burny, tingly, numb in its chakra area. So crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar, sacral, root. Itchy, scratchy, throbby, burny, tingly, numb is an indication that you're not in your highest good. And if it's your own self, for me, self is sacral. So anything that's happening and it includes your organs. So for me at sacral, it's going to include my upper reproductive, my lower digestive. It's going to include my sacrum, my psoas. It's going to include my S-spine, the little bit of chub I have on my belly, all of that skin. It's all communicating with me all the time. Now your other...
My friend yesterday came over and she was stressed and she was broken out in hives from the stress. Just stressed about it. I said, where are the hives coming from? She goes, just stress.
Yeah. But
like,
when we minimize it though, oh, it's just stress. Oh, it's just normal. What we're saying is, oh, I'm not listening. And I'm going to go back to our curse word. Oh, fuck that. I'm not listening to that. You have just cut a bond of a loved, trusted guide saying, okay, we're in trouble right now. Everything spiritual is going to have a physical amplification. If you are not connected physically, you cannot be connected spiritually. If you're not connected spiritually, you can't be connected physically. So the second is our others guide. And each of us have two very unique locations. For me, it's third eye is my others. And this part of my body is going to react. It could be headaches. It could be itchy, dry skin. It could be hives. It could be a sinus infection. It could be occipital tingling, is telling me that I am not in my truth. I'm in the thoughts, feelings, and expectations of others. We all have these two guides. And so to cleanse and to purify your chakras is to sit in them. First of all, you need to know where they are. In the Take Your Power Back, which again for our Starr members is $37. For anyone else, it's $79. There's a full 8-chakra, a full 8-part series, Get to Know Your Chakras, in that course as well. Nice. So that course for $37 or $79, you're getting a lesson on your innate operating field. You're getting a meditation to do for 21 days. You're getting a 21 days of accountability email. You're getting that container for the rest of my life. You are getting the 8-chakra series, and you're getting the Human Being User Manual Masterclass, and you get journal prompts and something else. There's one other thing, I can't remember it is, for $37 or for $79, and it will change your life because it's not a course. It's teaching you energy medicine. It's teaching you to cleanse and to purify your biofield. It's teaching you to have an intimate relationship with each of the chakras. And it can be as simple as just sitting in it. Just close your eyes and know that this is crown chakra, and to feel like I don't even have to close my eyes anymore. I can be talking and be like, oh, I'm blocking up at crown, and I can shift that because I'm intimately connected to the sensation, to the voice of each chakra as it guides me. And that's important as spirit energy.
They protect you too. I was told by one of the spirit guides recently that your etheric field isn't even as important as the balance in your chakras. So we think about the etheric field as being like our casing, our egg of protection. And we don't realize that egg of protection is not anywhere near as strong if your chakras aren't balanced. They have to be balanced and in alignment.
Here's another bullshit story that has been corrupted. And it goes back to thinking from the outside in. Our physical bioenergetic field is the external layer. It's actually 3 meters away from our heart center. This isn't our spiritual or our etheric, it's our physical. Our mental and emotional are in layers. Our spiritual runs like a tube down our spine. It's a Hara line. And so if we keep this tube where the chakras exist clean and pure, we have a pure line from cosmic intelligence through the body to Mother Earth.
Yes. The Earth has chakras too, doesn't it?
She does. Yes, she does. She has a spine.
I heard Mount Shasta. Is that the crown or the root? I can't remember.
I can't remember either. There's a really great documentary by Matthias De Stefano. He actually walked Mother Earth's chakras. He went to each of the locations, and he shows you a visual of what that spine looks like. Yeah.
Interesting. And it shifts too. It moves, doesn't it? Whenever we
Aaron
have like a
says Shasta is root. So
okay,
thank you.
Shasta is the root. Thank you. I thought so. Interesting.
Yeah.
So everything,
cool.
including our pets, they all have chakras as well. And
they sure do. Yeah. What species wouldn't? Why wouldn't?
yeah.
Why wouldn't every species have it? How many times have you heard a vegetable, the heart of the vegetable, the root of the vegetable, the crown of the vegetable? And you know, not that all of the chakras aren't important, but root is earth energy. It's a grounding. Heart is an opening energy, and crown is a connecting energy. And so why wouldn't that be true for everything? Everything. Yeah.
Oh, you're definitely getting some goosebumps out of people with that one.
Yeah.
Glastonbury is the Earth's heart chakra. Okay.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Cool.
Very cool. If anyone wants to go and research who crown is, that would be really cool. We would at least know that.
I think I heard that Lake Titicaca was the sacral chakra. I'm pretty sure I heard that correctly.
Well, and water, that would make absolute sense. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
for
wonder.
sure.
Now I'm gonna have to Google it because I'm really curious. I wonder what the crown chakra. Oh, the Tibet, Mount Kailash, Tibet is crown. That makes sense. Thank you, Steph. That resonates.
I have to share something personal with Steph because I keep meaning to reach out and I haven't. So one of my best friends' name is Steph Fontaine. Obviously not you, but every time I see your name and your picture, it messes me up because I'm thinking it's her, and then I see it's you, and it's like, I'm so glad that I haven't accidentally messaged you something that.
Is your friend also Canadian? Are there two Canadian?
Yeah, she's Canadian as well. She's from Gananoque. If this stuff has any, it would be really, really hilarious if he also was from Gananoque. But yeah, very cool. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm by Stonehenge ley lines. Yes, the ley lines do play a role in many of these energy centers too, don't they? Well, I wonder if we have ley lines.
We do. They're called our meridians, right? And we have pockets. So our heart meridians pool lymphatically, physically, but metaphysically, they pool when we're unable on the right to give love and on the left to receive love. But that crossover comes to our hip meridians. So when we're unable to give and to receive forgiveness, it pools physically in the lymphatic system, but metaphysically in the meridian. So yeah, we absolutely have ley lines. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, I love everybody's looking up where all the it's so magnificent if we just had one list. And imagine while you're meditating and doing your chakra cleansing and you know Earth's list, you can be part of the solution. You could be of enormous benefit by intentionally clearing her chakras as you clear your own. And that's
opening
how
the Earth's third eye chakra.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I love it.
It's a great idea, actually.
Yeah. So much fun. How are you?
I'm having such an interesting time since this eclipse. You've noticed the energies have shifted, right? Am I the only one that sensed that the energies have completely shifted since then? They felt totally different. Yeah. And I feel like this, it's almost like a calm that I wasn't here before. that it's like the panic that set in with the eclipse has kind of dissipated now, and everybody's kind of calming down a little bit, and it feels really good the last couple days. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anybody else notice that the things have kind of felt like we took a deep breath and we went, and then held our breath and then went, ah, and now we're in the phase. That's what it feels like.
Yeah. I have strong, I'm going to call them psychic abilities. I believe that there are 4 types of channels. May I share that information?
Please.
So there are 4 types of channels. There's first the psychic. They have the ability for, let's start over. Channels are people that have the ability to read frequency and vibration from a place of knowing. And so there are 4 types of channels. The psychic is someone who reads the frequency and vibration of the timeline. They know what's happened in the past, what's happening in the present, and they can discern from nothing changing what will occur in the past because of patterning and knowing. The second is a medium. They have the capacity to read the frequency and vibration of a soul energy that does not have a body on this timeline. A translator is someone who has the ability to channel ascended masters, the Akashic records, but they read the human body, the frequency and the vibration of the body. And then there's the shaman. The shaman does all of those things, but they use Mother Earth as a conduit. So usually there is a plant medicine, an animal, or some sort of ancestral rites. And so when you are a true channel, I'm not saying that you can't learn those things, but a true channel doesn't need to learn those things. When you're a true channel, you have all of those things available to you. But if you don't master what your gift is first, the doors keep opening and closing and locking, and it can be very challenging. And so I'm saying this because I want to share with you my solstice story. So I began my journey realizing that I'm a translator, but have very specifically been learning shamanistic, I'm going to say ancestral memories is what I've been remembering. And I was very honored and blessed to be invited to our Six Nations reservation for the eclipse. And it was the 100th anniversary of their confederation, which was also formed during a solar eclipse. And it was incredible. The Thunderbird drum was there. The elders did the peace pipe ceremony. We had a sacred fire. The totality of the eclipse in the location that I was on, it felt forever. It was a good 4 to 6 minutes. And we were outside at a sacred fire with no shoes on. And the day was already incredible because the thunder drum does, wow, there's no words for it. Lisa, I will get to your question in a second. The thunder drum changed me. Just if that would have been the experience, it would have been enough. My body, just the vibration, it was like I could see the shit that I didn't even know was there, was just gone. And that was the beginning of the calm for me. But during the eclipse, I lost all of my gifts. I could see nothing. I could feel nothing. I actually knew nothing. And I have to tell you, it was the most peaceful experience ever. And I started crying. And in my ego body, I was a little hopeful that I would not have any of those gifts and that I could just go home and start all over. That I didn't have to be this responsible energy that I believe that I am. And it was probably 4 of the most peaceful, quiet moments of my life. And then the totality ended and everything rushed back in and filled my whole body up. And this whole story of what I am here to do, what I'm here to teach, just if my biofield was this before, it went like this. And that sense of responsibility was so overwhelming that I just sat at the fire and cried. And it wasn't, it was viscerally a spiritual cry. It was like the tears were the shower that I needed. Like if it started raining in that moment, I would have known that that rain was for me. Like it just, I wanted to go and have a shower. And as soon as I got home, I jumped in the, and it was cold too. Like it was probably, by the time I got home, it was 7 degrees. And I just went in the pool and I just went under the water and I just sat under the water and breathed out so slowly until I floated to the surface. And it was like, okay, a new assignment has been given. I have received it and I'm in.
Wow. What a beautiful experience. When you were explaining that, I had a visual in my head. You know what it's like when they clear out the canals?
Yes.
When they drain the canals? And then you see all that funky stuff and you're like, oh shit, we got to clean all this out. And they cleaned it out. And then once it's cleaned out, they let the water flow back in and everything is so much cleaner and brighter and nicer. And yeah, that's kind of what I was visualizing when you were explaining that is you got your canals clean.
Thank you for that visual. And that's what I like that. I still won't have the words to explain it, but now I have a concept. And so thank you. Oh, that was a beautiful gift. I appreciate you. Thank you.
I love the visuals that have been popping into mind recently, but that's, I mean, yeah. Thank the eclipse because the upgrades have been intense lately. Huh?
For sure. And here's the thing, guys. No matter what's happening, let's just stop resisting it. We don't need to accept it. Just stop resisting it. If the downloads are coming and you ask, is this in my highest good, and you get a yes, just let it happen. If you get a no, say no, thank you. But stop resisting. We have
stop resisting.
We have
as a different feeling from what.
Yeah, we've moved out of an age of resistance. We don't have to fight anymore. We're not warriors anymore. We are keepers of the light, and that's where we need to stand. Lisa asked, can everyone channel? I had an intense dream that I was writing down and went into channeling. The dream taught me that I am a channel. It was very shocking. I never thought I had the ability to do this. Well, Lisa, let's shift some of your language. You don't have the ability to do anything. You are the ability. Can everyone channel? I think people can learn to channel in process, but a true channel doesn't resist and it is delivered to them. And what they do with that delivery matters. And it matters in 2 ways. If you get a channeled message, whether you're a psychic, a medium, a translator, or a shaman, you have no right, capital bolded, underline, you have no right to share that message without permission. By sharing it without permission, you're putting your spin and intention on that message. Your purpose as a channel is to share the message, not to understand it, not to explain it, but to share it and then hold space for them to understand what it means for them. That's why I love my soul reveal reading process, is because I give you so much information and a container where that information is going to live for the rest of my life and access to me for that time as well, because it is none of my business what your message is to me. It's what that message is for you. And that's something that we need to remember as the channeler and as the receiver. As the receiver, that channeler, what they think, what they feel, what they're saying is none of your business. What you take from it, what you do with it, who you're going to show up as, that is your responsibility. And we need to start taking responsibility for our own selves and stop worrying about everybody else. I hope that answers your question, Lisa.
It's beautiful. And I'm going to highlight Daniela's comment as well. Daniela says, it's so rich, the soul reveal reading with Traci. I printed 25 pages of our conversation and referred to it often. I'm not surprised, Hermione Granger. That's her nickname for her. She's such a student. We love you, Daniela.
Hey, Hermione. So just so that you know, and I hope that this doesn't give you for every soul reveal reading, I record it as well. And I hope that you realize that Zoom has a translation feature, which you don't have to write it all out. You can just print the transcript.
Yes.
But whatever you need.
Thank you, Christopher, for showing us that trick, by the way, because I didn't know you could do that until recently. Thank you, Christopher.
So cool. Cool.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming on today, Traci. You are so much fun to chat with. Well, and you're still doing your challenge with Mott, right? And
I am. Yeah. So, and yes, you know what? I'm really finding that that's more and more just for me. And it used to feel really selfish when Uriel comes or when Mott comes. I've always felt the need to share the message, but I've been finding, especially over the last few months, that the messages are for me. Like, Traci, get your shit together and then share this message. Like, don't share this message as our wisdom. Become that example and then share the message.
I get that practice what you preach message all the time.
Yeah. And so what I'm feeling about what I get from Uriel and Mott is that I will say this came from a session with them, but it's who I am now. So almost everything that I'm sharing with you has come usually through Uriel, and then Ma'at comes in and gives me, okay, here's the balance that you need to express this from, because Uriel is very aggressive, very get this intense knowledge now. And Ma'at's like, whoa, hold on. Let's balance all of that out. So I've been truly, truly blessed and gifted to have that really aggressive masculine energy and that very hold on a second feminine energy. But I use their wisdom in everything I do. Everything. Yeah. So beautiful. Cool.
And when is your next talk with that?
Sorry, say that again.
When was your next divinate? I think you're going to be not divinate. Starr.
Yeah. So I did one last night. So the recording is there, and that's going to be on the Earth Lessons. And so the second Thursday of every month, I do an hour in the divinate community. It's called the Power Hour, and its purpose is going to be sharing wisdom for you to take your power back and stand with a foot in both worlds. You are not just a spirit energy. You are spirit energy having a human experience. You chose to come here. So you need to be firmly planted in the material so that we can create a better human existence, but also firmly created in the spiritual. One of the things that I will say about what Daniela just posted up, while most people, so my programs are on selfawareness.academy, but don't purchase anything there, because in your divinate community, you often get more than 50% off. So my human being user manual program is $19.99. You guys get it for $9.99. The soul reveal reading is $179. You guys get it for $79. The take your power back is $79. You guys get it for $37. But that's crazy. That's awesome.
Thank you so much for everything you're doing for our community. It's very helpful. We've got so many people that are starting their spiritual awakening or feeling stuck or just feeling like they're kind of plateaued. And so it's really nice to have, platinum educators, as Daniela would call them, to come in and help us with uplifting the conscious level of the collective. So thank you so much for everything that you're doing and for helping people heal and paying it forward in all the ways that you do. We are immensely grateful.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Julia is here in the comments. Thank you, Julia. We also appreciate you.
Yes, I do, more than you can possibly imagine. I would love to just take a minute to say to all of you that your main contact with me is Julia. And honestly, you're truly blessed to be able to spend any time with her. She's so generous with her time and her energy, and she takes such good care of me. I am truly blessed. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
We love you, Julia. Thank you for all you do. And thank you
Yes.
also to Daniela on Saturday and Sunday in the Starr all day. Christopher is also going to be teaching the Qigong. And Daniela is also going to be talking about forgiveness process, meditation, power. What else am I missing here, Daniela? You probably sent it to me on the link. Yeah, you did. So you sent me the same thing. Okay, Power of 8 with Christopher and Daniela. And tomorrow I will be having a special podcast for our Australian friends. Many of you have been wanting to come on and actually see an actual live rather than catching it several hours later. So tomorrow at 6 p.m. EST time, which I believe will be about 9 or 10 in Sydney, I'll be doing a podcast for our Aussie friends. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8. And then Sunday, I also have my class. I will be teaching my astral projection class. So for those of you who are interested, we have where is it? So you can find my astral projection class on my website, astrallara.com. There's the link. For those of you who have not caught one of my astral projection and protection classes, make sure you come Sunday because it's going to be a wonderful class. Thank you so much for everything, Traci. You're just amazing. And I look forward to our next chat on I believe we'll see each other on the 2nd or something like that. Something close to that.
I think it's the Thursday. So it's the second Thursday of the month. Yeah.
Perfect.
Like 11.
Wonderful.
Something like that. It was so great to be with you. As always, if you need anything, please reach out.
Thank you, Traci. Likewise. I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Have a wonderful day. And don't forget to go and see Christopher and Daniela this weekend, you guys. They're doing a lot in Astara this weekend. Mwah. See you guys soon. Bye.
Good night. Bye.